Hello, my name is Brandon Carnley. Today is May 3rd, 2018. The current time is 5 o'clock and I will describe to you what my project consists of. I will be putting in native plants alongside a nature trail at Hidden Valley Wildlife Area along with a drip system to keep it running and not die off, along with a drip system installed to make the plants nourish and last a long time, along with topping it off with the little red bark chips for the plants. After that, I will be putting in a wooden bench and concrete pad to hold it in place. I chose this because I've helped with other Eagle Scouts accomplish their project at the Nature Center as well and decided to ask them to see if they have a job for me to take on. The project I am hoping to solve is redo the bare patch of land and putting in a greener touch for the area. The difficult part to this mess is you can't just snap your fingers and ask people to do a project with no plans. In doing so, I realized that creating a general idea of what I should be doing is the first thing that should be taken care of and follow through with professional advice from the park rangers and the past Eagle Scouts on how they finished. I hope to learn through the process on how to become a leader and have people follow my orders instead of all the work being laid out on the table and be well organized, along with how to follow through with a project instead of just talking about it and what can actually be done about it. The steps I planned on taking in the beginning were very simple. I wanted to make sure that I had my signatures from the park, along with a letter showing that they confirmed the idea of what will be done at their facility. After the park gives me the okay, I will then have to get authorization from my unit leader, unit committee, beneficiary, and council's approval in going forward with my project with their signatures. What the signatures will do is give me the green light in going forward with my original idea of what will be done at the park. Some of the obstacles I encountered were not being able to take action while I had to wait out with the authorization before I could do anything really. The original project idea wouldn't have worked due to it being the original project, and it consisted of just putting in plants but no concrete pad or bench. The actual steps I took throughout the project are done slowly but surely. In the beginning, I had to head over to the site and take measurements and pictures of what it looks like before I remodel it. After measurements and pictures, I made phone calls to the park on what they wanted for plants, drip system, and what type of bench they would like to put in. With the okay of me being able to put in what they wanted specifically with the 8 different types of native succulent plants, I wouldn't be funded completely and was going to need to find out how much money I am going to need in fulfilling my project. After finding the fixed cost of how much the plants would cost, the weed barrier, wood chips, entire drip system, bench, and materials needed for the concrete pad, I came out to a cost of roughly $1,700. Most of the cost is due to the bench costing $1,000, but the park's specific bench that needed for their center must be the right one. After the cost was fixed, I had to get my signatures to perform any actions at the site. With the signatures giving me confirmation of going through, I planned a day to dig up 3 inches worth of dirt over the span of 97 feet. And on April 7th, I had 7 guys help me dig out the dirt and put it in a big pile near a road nearby. After that, I have been trying to raise funds from donors and am still working on accomplishing my funds to this day. I feel that I have accomplished a lot throughout the school year in trying to get my project done, but it always turns out to not be the way I wanted it to. And having to readjust to the situation and go from there, I learned that getting all the materials and people in order is a lot easier said than done, along with the project not just taking a day to get done. It requires proper planning and procedure to complete. I learned about myself that I work better as a study instead of doing it in bits at a time, like getting most of it in one filling instead of breaking it down into sections. I'm proud of how far I've come and can't wait for it to be thoroughly finished. I wish I wouldn't have overthought the entire project as a whole and broke it down into parts first instead of trying to get all of it in one filling. For example, getting a hold of the plants and where to find them while I was working on donors at the same time. I was able to make a difference with the community so far and got most of the planning out of the way. Once I get my donors in line, I will then get the supplies and materials prior to the set date and finish the project over a span of 2 days on a Saturday and Sunday probably. If I had all the resources and more time, I would show you what my project looks like in the end, along with my Eagle Scout rank badge. But if there were an incoming senior about to work on his or her capstone, I will tell him or her that doing your project ahead of time is the best thing to do, and make sure that you are ready to execute your plan before you go out and try to scramble all your pieces at the last minute. And that's a wrap for my drops of hope. Now, don't run off.